the heart of the Andromeda Union, the Galactic Council chamber glowed with shifting light, cast from a giant star just outside the station's main dome. Delegates of 400 species gathered around the circular hall, their faces tense, voices rising in many tongues. The central hologram flickered between static and the official seal of Earth's united government, grey and silent. For over 20 years, Earth had been a rising star in the Union, brilliant, unpredictable, but valuable. No species had matched humanity's pace in artificial intelligence, energy manipulation, or interstellar mapping. Some feared humans, others admired them, all depended on them. And now they were gone. Without warning, Earth had cut off all diplomatic channels. No messages, no explanations. All human embassies were closed. Their ships vanished from trade lanes. Their embassies on alien planets went dark. Commander Alex Voss stood in the center of the council floor, alone. His dark blue uniform bore the Earth emblem, now meaningless to the species glaring down at him. A tall man with sharp eyes and a voice trained for diplomacy, Alex remained still as the shouting grew louder. He must know something. Hissed Chancellor Zyra of the Kutal, her translucent skin flushing blue with anger. Humans are hiding something dangerous, growled Councillor Mathrall of the Char, a hulking reptilian figure with armor carved from bone. Alex raised his hand. I don't know what happened. I was here when the cut-off happened, just like you. Earth hasn't sent me a word. High Chancellor Varick 7 floated above them, suspended in a zero-gravity throne. His biometallic form glinted coldly under the dome lights. He did not shout. He didn't need to. When he spoke, the room fell quiet. Commander Voss, he said, in a smooth, modulated voice, you are the last active representative of a government that no longer answers us. You will give us answers, or you will be treated as a threat. I understand your frustration, Alex said carefully, but I cannot explain what I don't know. Earth may have had its reasons, but this decision, it caught me off guard too. Please, let's not jump to conclusions. Then what do you propose? Varick 7 asked. That we wait, that we sit idle, while one of the most advanced species in our union retreats behind silence. Alex hesitated. Every part of him wanted to believe Earth had a reason, something urgent, something justified, but doubt had started to creep in. Why had they abandoned him? Why no message, no warning? I asked for time, Alex said finally. Let me investigate. Give me one cycle to find out what happened. Time is a gift we cannot afford, said Varick 7. We have seen such silence before, from worlds consumed by war, or worse. Murmurs filled the room again. Words like sanctions, preemptive strike, and security breach echoed off the chamber walls. The council was on edge, and fear was spreading fast. After the session, Alex walked slowly through the lower halls of Solaris Prime. The station was a marvel, designed to suit hundreds of environments at once. He passed through misted corridors for aquatic species, wide grav paths for low-gravity walkers, and narrow tunnels with air thickened for insectoid lungs. But everywhere, he saw the same thing, suspicion. Alien eyes watched him now, not with curiosity, but with quiet fear. In his private quarters, Alex sat at his console, staring at the last message he'd received from Earth. It was 2 days old, just a few lines of heavily encrypted code. No subject, no sender. He ran it through every decryption program he had access to. Nothing. The encryption was newer than anything he had clearance for. Something had changed back home. Something big. He looked out the window, toward the pale blue star that lit the station. Somewhere beyond it, Earth was turning silently beneath its cloud-covered sky, and it was ignoring him. He whispered to himself, "What are you doing, Earth?" As the artificial lights dimmed to mimic night, the council prepared for another emergency session, and in the darkened halls of Solaris Prime, whispers of war grew louder. The Galactic Council met again at dawn station time. The large chamber was quieter than before, but tension hung in the air like an electric charge. Overnight, the fear had grown. The idea that Earth, an unpredictable and powerful species, had simply vanished from the political stage, left too many questions and too many assumptions. Commander Alex Voss stood behind the speaker's platform, looking up at the faces around the dome. He had barely slept. The encrypted message from Earth still sat in his private system, unsolved. He had no answers, only questions, and very little time to find the truth. Chancellor Zera, the Kutal delegate, spoke first. Her voice was sharp, like glass breaking. "We cannot afford patience. Earth's silence is not a glitch. It is a message, a warning, or a threat." "I second immediate action," said General Korthun of the Brukar Dominion, a military species known for striking before talking. "Earth has thousands of warships. Their AI weapons think faster than any of ours. If they are preparing for conflict, then delay is suicide." Several others murmured in agreement. "Or maybe," said a soft voice from the shadows, "they are running from something worse." The voice belonged to Counselor Neva, a thin, tall being from the Shalene, a race of explorers and historians. She rarely spoke, but when she did, others listened. All human transmissions to deep space monitoring arrays ceased exactly 12 hours before their diplomatic cutoff. Neva continued, "They didn't just stop talking to us, they stopped talking to each other." Alex leaned forward. "That's true," he said. "I checked our outer relay logs. Earth's own internal networks, gone silent. Their colonies, stations, even civilian satellites, they all shut down. At the same time, Varric 7 floated down closer. His silver form was still and unreadable. "Then what do you suggest, Commander Voss?" "That Earth did not abandon us, but rather collapsed." "I don't know yet," Alex admitted, "but I have reason to believe this is bigger than politics. Earth may have been reacting to something they didn't have time to explain." Zera scoffed. "Or they are testing our weakness, watching how we respond." Varric 7 raised a hand, and silence fell. "The vote on Earth's status will be held in one cycle. You have until then to bring us proof, Commander Voss, or Earth will be considered hostile." Later that day, Alex returned to his quarters. The room felt colder than before. He locked the door and activated a secure terminal connection. Bypassing standard channels, he began digging deeper into the encrypted message from Earth. Line after line of code scrolled across the screen. Then something changed. The code reshaped itself. A single line appeared at the center of the screen. "They're coming through the stars." Alex stared. No sender, no further message, just that one line. It was both vague and terrifying. He opened an old access key, one he hadn't used since training. It linked to a classified data cache, buried in the Council's shared records. If Earth was reacting to a known threat, maybe the Council had seen it too and buried the evidence. He entered the archive. Most of the files were locked to high-level clearance, but one stood out, Project Silence, old and mostly forgotten. The file showed a report from a Union scout ship that disappeared years ago near the galactic edge. Its last transmission was a blurred image, just a dark shape, massive and distant, moving between stars where no light reached. No identification, no signals. The file closed with 2 words, "Unknown threat." Alex leaned back in his chair. Earth had access to this file too. Maybe they had seen more, maybe something had returned. He didn't have long to wonder. A sharp knock echoed at his door. Alex stood quickly, shutting down the screen. "Who is it?" he asked. "Council Security," came the reply. "Open immediately." Alex hesitated. His heart pounded. Something wasn't right. He tapped a command on the wall panel. A second screen lit up. External camera. 4 armed officers waited outside. One of them held a containment device. He opened a secret drawer and grabbed a small data cube. It contained the decrypted message, the scout report, and his notes. He slipped it into his jacket. Then he opened the door. The officers stepped in. The lead one, a tall insectoid with a translator embedded in its neck, spoke first. "Commander Voss, by order of the Chancellor, you are to be taken in for questioning under Security Clause 9-7. "On what grounds?" Alex asked calmly. The officer didn't answer. Instead, 2 others moved to flank him. Alex had no choice. He raised his hands. "All right," he said. "Let's talk." As they led him away, Alex knew one thing: The Council didn't just fear Earth, they feared the truth. Commander Alex Voss sat inside a cold, narrow interrogation room buried in the lower levels of Solaris Prime. The walls were smooth metal, windowless and grey. A soft hum filled the silence, the sound of power conduits running behind the walls. The only light came from a single beam above his head. Across the table sat a Council security officer, a machine-augmented being from the Threx species. Its eyes glowed faintly. No emotion, just routine and control. "State your connection to Earth's communication blackout," the officer said. Alex leaned forward, calm but tired. "As I've already explained, I don't know why Earth went silent. I was left here like everyone else." "You accessed restricted Council files," the officer replied. "Classified reports, including Project Silence. I had reason to believe it was connected," Alex said. "And I was right. You violated Council protocol." "I'm trying to stop a war," Alex said. "That has to count for something." The door opened. High Chancellor Varric 7 entered, floating in without a sound. The officer stood and stepped aside. Varric 7 hovered over the table, his metallic body perfectly still. "You have one chance, Commander," he said. "Tell me what you know." "Everything." Alex looked up at him. "I decrypted Earth's final message. It said, 'They're coming through the stars.' No names, no source, just that. Then I found the old Union report, a lost scout ship, an unknown object moving beyond the galactic rim." Varric 7's voice stayed even. "Those reports are unverified. The scout ship could have suffered sensor malfunction, and maybe Earth found out it wasn't malfunction." Alex replied, "Maybe they saw it again. Maybe it's coming closer." Varric 7's eyes dimmed slightly, a sign of thought. "Why hide it? Why not warn us?" "Because Earth doesn't trust you," Alex said, not unkindly, not completely. "We've always been the outsider, the unpredictable species, the one everyone keeps at arm's length. Maybe Earth thought the Union wouldn't believe them, or worse, react with panic." The Chancellor didn't respond right away. Then he said, "You are to be released. But you are under surveillance. No unauthorized movement, no contact with external systems." Alex nodded, surprised by the decision. "Thank you. You have one cycle to bring clarity," Varric 7 said. "After that the Council will act. Earth will be treated as a threat. Do not waste your time." Free again, Alex returned to his quarters. The surveillance drone followed him like a silent shadow, hovering near the ceiling. He ignored it. He opened a secure line to a private contact, Counselor Neva of the Shelleen. She had once served with Earth's Science Division during the Outer Cluster peace missions. She was quiet, careful, but she trusted him. When her face appeared on the screen, it was pale and tense. "I heard about your arrest," she said. "They let me go," Alex replied. "For now, I need your help." He sent her the decrypted message and the old scout report. She read them in silence. Then she said softly, "This matches stories we heard long ago, before the Union, before most species had faster-than-light travel. A void beyond the stars, something that moved but didn't speak, something that swallowed signals." Alex sat forward. What if Earth found it again? Then Earth may be preparing for more than silence. Neva said, "They may be preparing for survival." She paused. "There's another file, buried deeper, not part of Project Silence. I'll send it." Moments later, a data file appeared on Alex's screen. He opened it. Inside were logs from a human deep space listening post, Station Vega 19, dated only weeks ago. The audio feed crackled, then cleared. Multiple signals approaching. Non-Union signature. No pattern. Speed exceeding known limits. Defense grid powering. Then silence. Another log. Final notice. Station breach. Unknown contact. Systems shutting down. Tell Earth. The message ended abruptly. Alex's pulse quickened. These were not rumors. These were final transmissions. "What do you plan to do?" Neva asked. "I have to show the Council," Alex said, "before it's too late." Meanwhile, in the upper Council chambers, pressure was building. The Brukar and Kutal delegates demanded a vote. Earth's silence, they argued, was now a confirmed danger. The Union could not wait. Varric 7 watched from above, silent, listening, calculating. That night, Alex stood at the edge of Solaris Prime's observation deck. The stars stretched in all directions, quiet and beautiful. But now, they looked different. Not peaceful, not empty. They looked like a field waiting to be crossed. If Earth was right, something was coming, and the Union was not ready. The lights of Solaris Prime burned low as the station entered artificial night, but sleep was rare among the Council's leaders. The entire Union was on edge. Within hours, a vote would be held to decide whether Earth should be declared a hostile power. Once that decision was made, military fleets would mobilize. Commander Alex Voss knew time was slipping away. The data Neva had sent, the final recordings from Station Vega 19, were all he had. But even that might not be enough to change the Council's course. Inside his quarters, Alex made copies of the files onto a secure cube. The message was simple, direct, and terrifying. Unidentified signals. Breach. Silence. These were not human errors or broken equipment. They were the last words of a dying outpost. He looked toward the silent drone hovering in the corner, a reminder that the Council didn't trust him. He had no way to contact Earth, no way to confirm anything. But the message had said enough. Earth wasn't preparing for war. Earth was preparing for something worse. Alex left his quarters quietly. The halls of Solaris were quieter than usual. Even alien workers moved cautiously, whispering in their own languages. Fear was spreading, not just fear of Earth, but fear of what they didn't understand. He made his way to a restricted wing of the station, Section 7, the Strategic Archives. His clearance, still valid for now, allowed limited access. He passed 2 guards, nodded without speaking, and entered the data room. The archive was cold and dim, its walls lined with glowing panels. Alex walked past records of star maps, treaties, and defense grids until he reached the black-coded section, Emergency Threat Protocols. He typed in a manual override and inserted the cube. The hologram above flickered and then displayed Earth's final warning: they're coming through the stars. Then came the station log, non-Union signature, speed exceeding known limits. Tell Earth. The audio cut out. Behind him a voice spoke. You're not cleared for that section. Alex turned. 4 security officers stood at the entrance, weapons at their sides. The one in front, a Char enforcer, stepped forward. By order of the Council, he said, you are under arrest again, this time for unauthorized data access and distribution. Alex raised his hands slowly. If you arrest me now, more people will die. Listen to that recording. Earth didn't abandon you. They tried to warn you. The officer didn't respond. He moved closer, cuffs in hand. Before he could reach Alex, another figure entered, a tall, slender form cloaked in soft blue light. It was Councilor Neva. Stand down, she ordered. I've called for a Council emergency session. The commander comes with me. The officers hesitated, but stepped back. Neva gave Alex a nod, and together they left the archive and headed for the central chamber. Within an hour, the Council gathered. The vote had been moments away when Neva's call halted everything. Now the chamber was alive with tension. High Chancellor Varric 7 rose into the center. You interrupted our decision, he said coldly. This had better be worth it. Alex stepped forward. He held up the cube. This is Earth's last transmission. It is not a declaration of war. It is a warning. Listen to it. He played the message aloud. The chamber fell into silence as the recording filled the room. Non-Union contact. Breach. Systems failing. Tell Earth. Then silence again. Varric 7 floated lower. Even if this is real, it is not proof. One message does not explain Earth's complete retreat. Alex nodded. That's true, but I believe Earth didn't just go dark. I believe they are preparing, isolating themselves so they can survive whatever this is. They're not hiding from us. They're hiding from it. Councillor Zera stepped forward. Or they're building something. A weapon. We can't take that risk. Before anyone could answer, a soft alarm echoed through the chamber. Varric 7 turned sharply. Status report. A voice from the station's command center came through. Council, we've lost contact with one of our patrol fleets on the outer rim. No warning, no distress call, just gone. A new hologram appeared. Static, then an image. A Union patrol cruiser, drifting, broken, its hull split open. No signs of battle, just silence, more murmurs. Fear rippled through the chamber like a wave. Varric 7 said nothing for a long moment. Then finally he spoke. Commander Voss, he said, I believe we need to talk. Later, in a quiet chamber away from the council, Varric 7 met with Alex and Neva. If what Earth found is real, the Chancellor said, then we face a threat none of us are ready for. We need to respond, Alex said. Together, Varric 7 nodded. Then a task force will be formed, human and alien. You will lead it, Commander. You have one cycle to prepare. Alex stood. Thank you, I won't let you down. As he left the chamber, his heart beat faster. For the first time someone believed him, but that belief came at a cost. Whatever was out there had already begun its advance, and Earth was only the beginning. Solaris Prime spun in silence above the blue giant star, surrounded by a calm that felt increasingly false. Inside the Galactic Council chambers, everything had changed. Earth's final message had been played. The ruined Union patrol cruiser now floated as a grim warning just beyond the galactic rim. Yet fear still battled reason, and time was running out. The council gathered once more, all delegates present, all eyes fixed on the center platform. The tension in the air was thick. There was no more shouting, only quiet dread. Everyone waited for the final vote, the one that would decide Earth's fate. High Chancellor Varric 7 rose slowly from his throne. His silver form reflected the chamber lights as he addressed the room. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to unity, the other to fear-driven division. Earth's silence was not a challenge. It was a signal of danger, and now we have seen that danger for ourselves. Alex Voss stood near the platform, waiting for his turn to speak. He had spent the last cycle gathering everything he could. Final logs from Union scouts, old blacklisted reports, and even fragments of Earth's withdrawn network. All of it told the same story. Something unknown was moving, fast and without warning. But even with the evidence, doubts remained. Delegates, Varric 7 continued. Before we vote, I offer the floor one final time. Alex stepped forward. I grew up believing in the strength of humanity, he said, voice steady. But I also believed we couldn't survive without connection, without the Union. Earth chose silence not because of arrogance, but because they knew the threat coming wouldn't wait for diplomacy. He raised the data cube. This contains Earth's last deep space analysis. It shows objects entering our galaxy, fast, large, and silent. No emissions, no language, no response. They pass through systems and leave only silence behind. He paused. This is what Earth saw, and this is why they pulled away, not to prepare for war with you, but to defend against something even they don't understand. Councillor Zara, still skeptical, raised her hand, and yet Earth told no one, not even you, their own representative. I think they were afraid, Alex said honestly, afraid they'd cause panic, or be ignored, or worse, provoke whatever's coming. At that moment, a sound interrupted the chamber, a sharp alarm echoing from the station's core systems. Varric 7 turned to the side wall. Report. A technician's voice came through, tense and fast. Multiple anomalies detected in Sector V9. Deep space scans show spatial distortions. No known signature. Ships dispatched for contact have gone dark. A new hologram flickered to life in the center of the room. It showed the edge of Union space, then flickering lights, fast movement, then total signal loss. This just happened, the technician continued. 5 minutes ago. A chill fell over the room. Councillor Neva rose slowly. There is no more time for debate. Varric 7 looked across the chamber. We were about to vote on Earth's status. Now the question is no longer whether Earth is hostile, but whether we are already too late. A new vote was called, not to attack Earth but to initiate joint contact and prepare defensive measures. The vote passed, narrowly, but it passed. Alex released a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Hours later, Alex stood inside the Solaris Prime hangar. A Union cruiser, sleek, fast and newly refitted, was being loaded with supplies. Human technology had already been integrated into its systems. The first true hybrid task force between Earth and the Union was forming. Alex was named mission commander. "You'll have 6 Union officers," said Neva, standing beside him. "2 humans from Earth's inner defense network are already en route." Quietly. No media. No panic. He nodded. "Good. We'll head to the last known point of contact. Try to find out what's coming, or if it's already here." Varric 7 arrived moments later, his floating throne silent as ever. "I've made contact with Earth's remaining outpost in the Lyra system," the Chancellor said. "They've agreed to cooperate under strict security. We believe they know more than they've shared." Alex looked toward the ship. "Then that's where we'll start." As he climbed the boarding ramp, a final message came through his personal console. An old encryption code. Earth's military channel. He opened it. The message was short. "Containment failed. Do not wait. The veil is thinning." Alex's face hardened. He turned back to Neva and Varric 7. "We leave now. Prep the jump." The hangar lights shifted from blue to red. Engines powered up. The cruiser lifted smoothly, sliding out into open space. Behind them, Solaris Prime stood still. Ahead, the void waited. Alex sat in the command seat and stared into the dark. The galaxy felt smaller now, not because of what they knew, but because of what they were about to face. The stars stretched across the view screen in endless silence as the cruiser Resolute Dawn moved beyond the edge of Union-controlled space. The ship carried a new kind of crew, humans and aliens side by side, working toward the same goal. No banners, no politics, just survival. Commander Alex Voss stood at the center of the command deck, eyes fixed on the incoming data. To his left, a human systems officer monitored energy readings. To his right, a Shalene navigator mapped the strange gravitational shifts ahead. Every second, new signals flickered on the screen, brief, distorted, and unfamiliar. They were close now, close to where Earth's last outpost had vanished, close to where the patrol ships had gone dark, close to whatever was coming through the stars. "Entering Sector V9, reported the pilot, a soft-spoken reptilian from the Arak species. "Space-time readings are unstable, gravity fields shifting out of sync. Keep the ship steady," Alex ordered. "All sensors at full sensitivity, weapons offline unless provoked." The crew moved with quiet discipline. Each of them knew the danger, but no one spoke of fear. They had passed that stage. Now it was only focus. Suddenly, the lights on the command deck flickered. A low hum pulsed through the hull. The ship's artificial gravity dipped for a moment, then returned. Screens scrambled, then cleared. "Contact," said the systems officer. "Unknown object, 2,000 kilometers. No transponder, no energy signature, just mass." Alex turned to the view screen. At first there was nothing, just the black. Then it appeared, a shape darker than space itself, long and irregular, with no lights, no visible engines. It moved without propulsion, gliding slowly, like a shadow drifting through a sea of stars. As it drew closer, static filled the communications array. The crew flinched as the ship trembled again. "Is it scanning us?" asked one of the Union officers. "No signal activity," replied the human tech. "It's not looking at us. Or maybe it doesn't need to." The object passed by them, slow and silent. Then another followed, then 3 more. All equally massive, equally empty. Their surfaces looked wrong, like something half-formed, matter shifting like liquid, but holding shape. "What are they?" someone whispered. Alex spoke softly. "Not ships, not life as we know it, something else." Suddenly the navigation console flared red. "Distortion field rising ahead," shouted the navigator. "A rift is forming. On the view screen, space itself began to ripple. A vertical tear opened in the black, a rift glowing with faint blue light. From its center came a pulse, not of light or heat, but something deeper, something the crew felt in their bones. And then a transmission. It wasn't language, it wasn't sound, it was thought, raw, cold thought. "We see you. You are known. Return to stillness." The crew staggered. One officer dropped to her knees, clutching her head. Others blinked, trying to clear the pressure in their minds. Alex grabbed the console to stay upright. "What was that?" gasped the pilot. "I don't know," Alex said. "But they're aware of us now." Another message came, this time in Earth's encryption, a direct transmission from the Lyra outpost. "This is Earth Command. You've seen them. They do not speak. They do not stop. We tried to contain them. We failed. Now only unity can resist. Send this message to the Union. The fight is no longer between species. It is between extinction and survival." Alex looked at the crew, many still shaken, but steadying. He turned to the comms officer. "Transmit the message to Solaris Prime. All channels, no encryption. Everyone needs to hear it." The officer nodded and sent it. The screen blinked, confirmed. Back at Solaris Prime, the council gathered one last time. The message played across every hall, every embassy, every ship. The fight is no longer between species. It is between extinction and survival. Delegates stood in silence. No arguments, no votes, no politics. Varric 7 watched the screen, then turned to the assembly. "The decision is made." On board the Resolute Dawn, Alex stood once more at the front of the command deck. The rift ahead still pulsed, wide and slow. More of the shadow forms emerged, gliding outward, spreading into known space. "Set a course back to the Union border," Alex said. "We need to prepare." "Retreating?" the Shalene officer asked. "Not retreating," Alex replied. "Rallying. If we fight as one, we might stand a chance." The ship turned. The stars shifted around them. Behind them the rift grew larger. Before them a fractured galaxy waited to unite, or fall. Alex looked ahead, not with fear, but with purpose. This was the beginning.